wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. Now, ex-New York Giant quarterback is signing with the Indianapolis Colts. He's signing a one-year deal, $14 million contract, which is insane. Now, Jess, he ain't do nothing for the Giants. They ain't want to give Saquon that money. But somebody found money for $14 million. It's a lot of money. But good morning, Morgan.
Yo, you so disappointed.
Good morning, MV. Jess Hilarious. Charlamagne.
What's up, girl?
How y'all feeling this morning?
Feeling good.
Yeah, Envy sound mad. Yeah, that's
Girl. When it comes to them Giants, yo, he be butthurt.
There's no way he should be still getting that much money. It doesn't even make sense. But anyway.
It's no way you should still be a fan of the NFC East. I'm just saying. Save yourself the stress. I'm just kidding. All right, y'all, so let's get into it. The House is passing a 6-month funding bill to prevent a government shutdown. The bill narrowly passed 217 to 213 on Tuesday, but with all but one Republican supporting the 6-month stopgap measure. House Speaker Mike Johnson, who says the bill freezes funding and is responsible, says that, people need to do the responsible thing. Let's hear more from House Speaker Mike Johnson, as he says the bill also falls on the desk of Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
The Republicans stood together, and we had one Democrat vote with us to do the right thing, and that is to fund the government. He must determine whether he wants to fund the government, do the responsible thing, or whether he wants to shut the government down.
And on the other side of the aisle, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says the funding bill will end up hurting Americans. Let's hear more from him.
It is unacceptable, and that is why there was a strong showing of opposition amongst House Democrats.
I don't understand why they can't find the financing for these operations. This happens every other year or every year, and it seems like we never find the funding, and it's something that can't happen. The government can't shut down. So what is the real problem?
It's probably a matter of an agreement on where those funds go, and that type of thing. So a proposal now heads to the Senate, where its fate remains uncertain. While Republicans do control a slight majority in the Senate, Kentucky's Rand Paul has made it clear that he is firmly against that bill. So hopefully a shutdown can be averted, but the deadline is Friday night. Mm-hmm. So we will keep you posted. Meanwhile, President Trump is telling business leaders that his tariffs have a tremendously positive impact on the economy. He made the comments on Tuesday at a quarterly business meeting roundtable, which includes the heads of Apple, Walmart, GM, and JP Morgan Chase. In his remarks, Trump claimed that his recent tariffs against Canada, Mexico, and China will have, and they are having, a positive impact. Let's listen to those comments from President Trump.
The biggest win is not the tariff. That's a big win. That's a lot of money. But the biggest win is if they move into our country and produce jobs. That's a bigger win than the tariffs themselves. But the tariffs are going to be throwing off a lot of money to this country.
Yeah. Okay. So the remarks come as stock values continue to fall. The Dow Jones Industrial Average lost as much as 700 points on Tuesday before ending the trading day down 478 points. Prior to that, you guys, the market pretty much lost like nearly 1,000 points. So, yeah. And speaking of which, the premier of Ontario, Canada, remember we spoke about him yesterday, imposing tariffs on electricity. Well, he has decided to put a hold on his decision to impose tariffs on electricity exports to the U.S. So yesterday, he announced a 25% surcharge on electricity that it supplies to parts of Michigan, Minnesota, and New York. He said the suspension of the surcharge comes after U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick agreed to renewing trade talks. So he said the Trump administration is coming to the negotiating table, and, he's been calling out President Trump saying, hey, and apologizing also to the American people, saying he doesn't want to do this, but, it is Trump's fault in regards to these tariffs. So Ford added, we have both agreed to let cooler heads prevail. Of course, President Trump has announced a doubling of tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum in response to the electricity surcharge. So we will, again, see what happens as a result of that. And really quickly, if we got time, the Philadelphia Eagles will visit the President Trump at the White House to celebrate the Super Bowl win. This after White House uninvited the team in 2018 after their victory because of their protest of the national anthem. So owner Jeffrey Lurie also reportedly criticized Trump at the time. This year, Trump attended the Super Bowl ahead of the event and praised running back Saquon Barkley and quarterback Jalen Hurts. So the Eagles are headed to the White House, and we will see what that visit looks like. So that's your front page news. at 6 a.m. Ooh, Lord, it's early today. I had energy yesterday, not so much today. That's your front page news at 6 a.m.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page news. What's up, Morgan?
Good morning, y'all. So you heard the caller, basically voicing his gripes about daylight savings time. So I just wanted to drop this in real quick. So most Americans, of course, they move their clocks forward for daylight savings time. But hospitals, did you know they see a significant increase in heart attack related visits following daylight savings time? So the exact reason isn't actually clear, but experts think it's the lost hour of sleep. It plays a big role in disrupting the body's natural rhythm. So maybe try to catch a nap, where you can throughout this week, if you can, to try to just regulate and reset that bio clock. So
that's some good information. I never thought about that.
Just try to get a little bit of extra sleep. Usually what they say is leading up to the day, try to get some extra sleep, get some extra rest in, just to again get your body used to that new clock. Switching gears, the first transgender person elected to Congress is being misgendered on Capitol Hill. In a House meeting that happened on Tuesday, Delaware Democrat Sarah McBride was introduced by committee chairman Keith Self as Mr. McBride.
He's following the law. He's following the law. There was an executive order. The president said that there's only 2 genders, Morgan. He's following the law.
I'm just reporting on it. Look,
okay.
McBride then responded to the Texas Republican by saying, "Thank you, Madam Chair." So things got a little petty. Massachusetts Democrat Bill Keating then came to the defense of McBride, asking Self to repeat his introduction. So let's take a listen to that exchange.
Recognize the representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ranking Member Keating, also wonderful.
Mr. Chairman, could you repeat your introduction again, please?
Yes, we have set the standard on the floor of the House, and I'm simply...
What is that standard, Mr. Chairman? Would you repeat what you just said when you introduced a duly elected representative from the United States of America? Please.
I will. The representative from Delaware, Mr. McBride.
Mr. Chairman, you are out of order. Mr. Chairman, have you no decency? I've come to know you a little bit, but this is not decent.
We will continue this.
You will not continue it with me unless you introduce a duly elected representative the right way.
See, he being funny.
Yeah,
I thought he did it again. How many? He being funny. He wanted to hear him say Mr. McBride again. He being funny, man. He being funny.
Oh, man.
So Self said he was following the standard of the House floor after Keating asked Self if he had any decency. As you heard in the audio, the chairman banged his gavel and quickly adjourned the meeting. So, when stuff like this happens, y'all, we ain't getting anything accomplished. So that's not good.
Hey, she gave it right back to him, though. She called him Madam, what did she say, Madam Chair?
Yeah, Madam Chair.
That's Madam Chair, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I wonder, right, for people who got fired for misgendering people that didn't say that, do they get their jobs back? Because it's an executive order now.
It's an executive order. I don't know what you want that man to do. The man is following the law. Like, soon as that person would have said, yo, you out of order, I would have been like, no, it's actually an executive order. What are we supposed to do in this situation? See, nobody tells us what to do in these situations.
So look, this the thing though. How can they not get enlisted in the army? Remember, he stopped them from being in the army, but they can be in the what is that? A congresswoman?
Yes.
All right, how can they do that? But they can't. I don't get it.
Probably already elected. You can't. You're elected by your constituents. You're elected.
Oh, so this person been one of them.
Yep, Sarah McBride.
All right. Okay.
By one of them, you mean a member of Congress?
No, yeah. Well, obviously, yeah. But yeah, okay.
Because she been one of they, but now
been
she
both.
one of them.
They been both. Honestly.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay, y'all. So moving on, protests are ongoing, calling for the release of former Columbia grad student and pro-Palestinian activist Mahmoud Khalil. The Trump administration noted his arrest by ICE over the weekend was first of many. Khalil, a permanent resident with a green card, helped organize an anti-Israel protest that started last spring, spoke at that protest as well. Hundreds of people gathered at Manhattan's Washington Square Park on Tuesday, listing their demands and speaking up for Khalil's rights. Now, House Speaker Mike Johnson, he also weighed in on Khalil Mahmoud. Let's hear from House Speaker Mike Johnson.
If you're on a student visa, I'm going to say this clearly. If you are on a student visa and you're in America and you're an aspiring young terrorist who wants to prey upon your Jewish classmates, you're going home.
So again, Khalil was arrested over the weekend and is being held at a detention center in Louisiana. He hasn't been charged with an official, he hasn't been charged with a crime. A deportation hearing is set for today. So according to federal law, though, you must see a judge and for an arraignment without necessary delay if you are in federal custody at a preliminary hearing and within 14 days, 21 days if you are not in custody. So again, he is being held. He has not been charged with anything. And he has this deportation hearing set for today. So again, we will continue to keep you posted as what happens there.
If you believe, like I said yesterday, if you believe in freedom of speech, if you believe in freedom of protest, you should be raising holy hell about that situation. I don't have to agree with what you're saying, but I can agree with your right to say it. And if he doesn't have the right to say it, then eventually none of us will have the right to say a lot of things.
That's right.
There was a social media post I saw that was like, let's get this straight, that the president of the United States has sent law enforcement to round up someone for speaking.
Yeah.
For speaking.
That's crazy.
That's it, just talking. So, and it's not like, oh, this was, they did anything. It's the president of the United States. The whole United States sent someone for speaking.
That's crazy.
So, yeah. Just switching gears, bringing things home, but not necessarily home, foreign affairs, wrapping things up on the front page news. The U.S. says Ukraine is ready to accept a proposal to enact an immediate interim 30-day ceasefire in its war with Russia. So President Trump says the next steps are to get Russia to accept the deal as well. Let's hear from President Trump.
Now we have to go to Russia and hopefully President Putin will agree to that also, and we can get this show on the road. We're going to meet with them later on today and tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to wipe out a deal. But I think the ceasefire is very important. If we can get Russia to do it, that'll be great. If we can't, we just keep going on and people are going to get killed, lots of people.
So the announcement followed the U.S. and Ukrainian officials meeting in Saudi Arabia. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz said the U.S. will now immediately lift the pause on military aid and intel sharing with Ukraine. So it looks like things are on the up and up regarding our relationship with Ukraine, and hopefully Russia will agree to a ceasefire.
It said Ukraine president wrote the president a letter saying he apologized. Was that true?
Yeah, he has been apologizing. He has been saying he's thankful and doing, pretty much doing all the things that the president and the vice president has asked him to do as a result of that meeting. What was that? About 2 weeks ago. So but he's also gone to the European Union and talked to them. So I'm sure there's probably been some pushback, from our allies on that side as well. So we'll see. Okay. All right, y'all. That's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on social at Morgan Media for more news coverage. Follow at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Have a great day.
You too now. Morgan. And I just want to add this too. All my flyers out there, people that fly, Southwest Airlines, salute to Tesla and Figaro, that's her favorite airlines. Southwest Airline, known for its bags fly free policy, is making some changes. So starting May 28th, you will now have to pay for your bags, all right? So I just want to put that out there. Anybody that flies Southwest, you fly Southwest, Jess, Morgan, Charlamagne?
It depends. It depends. I fly there sometimes because they famous for getting you there when you need to be there, when you don't want no layover. So yeah.
I was gonna say I like Southwest. I feel like they've been low key under the radar, like one of the best airlines, like low key.
They're not about to be though, because when everybody gotta pay for their bags, we might as well go to Delta.
But they were also talking about ending their or starting assigned seating as well with that too. So I will say in September, CEO Bob Jordan said that having no bag fees was a huge consumer advantage that they had. So yeah, well, they also, like I said, they're also set to end open seating at the first half of 2026. But it's so funny because Amtrak actually poked fun at Southwest yesterday saying, guess what? We're the only ones doing free baggage now. And I think that this is going to be a shift in the way that we travel. People will probably start taking buses and trains.
No, they're not.
No, you don't think so?
Right, they'll switch airlines, but nobody going to switch form of transportation like that.
They'll go to Frontier.
I mean, even considering the fact that, these airlines and these aviation accidents have been happening.
I got to get to where I'm going fast.
Yeah.
And it's not, the accidents aren't happening like that. It's not commercial airlines falling out the sky like that now. Cut it out.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Well, just
to get on a bus. I ain't getting on no bus. I ain't about to travel 2 days to get to Cali.
4 days to get to Cali.
Cali is different, but coming to New York, someone like me, I might not get on a plane to New York. I might opt to take the train.
Yeah, I've done that before. I've taken the train from New York to DC.
You said I ain't riding the bus though.
All right. Well.
All right though.
Thank you, Morgan.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.